Hello everybody, it's Lauren here.
And I'm Kyle Burns.
And we are the coaches at Team Cosmic Bodies. And today we are going over, what was the question? Someone asked us a question on Kyle's Instagram. So please always ask us questions because we can do YouTube videos on them and it's great.
All right, the question is, serious question. How normal/common is it for bikini competitors to be consuming 700 to 800 calories? I'm asking because I've seen a lot of girls complain about their coaches having them around that calorie range close to a show and damaging them, etc., etc. And then I've asked and observed several pros and pro teams like Beatrice and Issa when she first started, etc. And 700-800 calories close to stage with high fats is no big deal to them. Some also said that they have no negative anything, but due to high fats probably saving them. So is it that low of a calorie range like normal? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Or is it the athlete who can't handle it? Question mark. Just confused because if my coach goes that low, I don't want to question him, but I want to make sure I'm staying healthy.
Okay, so I can go on like a rant here, but what Kyle and I like to do with our coaching is we promote longevity. We want to go about this contest prep in the most healthiest way possible. No, it's not. It doesn't get healthy. I mean, competing and getting super lean is not considered healthy, but there is a healthier route to go about it, plus a more responsible way to go about it. And we promote this longevity thing because we care about hormones, we care about your mental health, and just your relationship with food down the line. And metabolism, like I said, and getting to that low of calories is very, very extreme. And to me, that if a coach is putting you on that low of calories right off the bat.
She didn't say that. She said at the end of prep.
At the end of prep, okay. But if a coach is putting you like right off the bat on that is just crash dieting right there. That is crash dieting. And that is something that does not promote health and like promote longevity in long-term competing in my mind.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that exact thought process and just to add to it, so we're talking about longevity of your bodybuilding, lifting, body composition, dieting, career, right? So your career in this hobby and sport. And so with that, it's like if you do that on one of your first preps as a teen, and that's your norm, is to push drugs, is to get on 800 calories, and that's your normal, right? Then where do you go from there? Like, what do you have to do in future preps? So you want to keep all that stuff in your back pocket, such as using these extremes for this extreme sport.
Because anybody can lose weight on a 700 calories.
It's like then every time you have to cut, you're like just immediately going to 800 calories, or the last 8 weeks you're definitely on 800 calories, and you might weigh a lot more than that. Like you might weigh 120, which is then getting extreme, and I'll get into that in a second. But so to piggyback off what she's saying is we're talking about your career. If you start out with these things and this is your normal, then what are you going to do down the line? Whether you're good or not in the sport, like whether this actually is a sport or career for you, or whether
mess up you long term,
or whether this is just a hobby. So it's like, where is this going to go? How are you going to get more aggressive if you're super into cardio, you're doing really low food, and you're pushing drugs on your first prep ever? And again, how that can affect is post-show. So it's not necessarily the fact that it's going to damage you in the moment. In long term, it's how do you respond post-show, restricting so hard and so aggressively. So yes, a lot of people can't handle it, and they're gonna F up post-show because it's so extreme and so restrictive.
And a lot of coaches out there of course they want their clients to get results. They want their client to step on stage and look the part up there. But a lot of coaches out there don't really care about your longevity or hormones or metabolism or mindset, willpower, like all this type of stuff because post-show because they just want to get you to the stage, and anybody can freaking lose fat or weight off of 700 calories, but then hormones are going to get whacked up. You're going to lose a ton of muscle, by the way. Plus, you're going to feel like shit.
Yeah. And
your energy's going to tank.
You could be just another number to these coaches too, right? So it's like if we had a pool of 1,000 people and we sent out the same plan to 1,000 people, and I'm not saying this is what they do, but you do that, and I had 1,000 people coming to me, and 40 of them make it like years with me, like they keep going. Well, that looks pretty good for me, right? Like I have 40 stunnas, stars in the industry that just like made it. Yeah. But I could have had 500 people do pretty good too, right? So it's like just because you have 1,000 people and you're giving them all the crash dieting plan, it's just you have a huge pool of people. So you have to watch out for that, like higher industry coaches that might just be really restrictive because they don't really care. They're just like, oh, she makes it or she makes it. Like if she doesn't, it's not my fault. Like,
and if you're at an end of a contest prep here, I think that is kind of the time to get more aggressive as you're getting closer to stage, because your calories are going to have to come down to get to an elite conditioning for the stage. Now women are coming in so lean because they have to. I mean, their glutes are in. I mean, for a woman to be that low body fat, we're not supposed to be there. We're not supposed to get this lean as a female. So yes, extremes do happen, and sometimes calories do have to get a little bit on the lower end, and this just depends on your body weight, how much muscle you have. So if somebody is like 95 pounds,
here's the real answer to your
calories per pound. Want to explain that?
Yeah, this is the real answer. No, you were doing it. This is the real answer.
So yes, calories per pound. So how many calories are you intaking based off of your body weight? So me, just an example, the lowest my weight gets to is 120 for the stage. But someone that's shorter than me and maybe has a little bit less muscle, I mean, that person could be 100 pounds up on the stage, or maybe even 90. So yes, their calories per pound does matter. My calories are going to be obviously different than theirs based on those calories per pound. So we as coaches, we don't like to get below 9, if not sometimes like 8.5 calories per pound. Now that is probably the lowest Kyle and I are willing to go on the calories per pound.
Yeah.
So what you do is you take your calories and you divide it by your body weight, and then that's how many calories per pound you are having. And we have some clients that can diet on 12 calories per pound, if not more. It's insane. But yeah, we have some that have to get kind of by 9 at the end of their contest prep.
So yeah, this is my answer. This is the actual answer I gave the person. I said, how much does the athlete weigh? Anything below 8.5 to 9 calories per pound of body weight is pretty irresponsible in my opinion, and they should have done more cardio, they should have done a longer prep, or had a better starting position. So if you're going below 8.5 calories per pound at the end of a prep, it's just, there's no need for that. At that point, 700-800 calories, there's a couple things that I disagree with how you worded this question, because 700-800 calories could be, if you weigh 90 pounds and then you times that by 9, it comes out to 810. So if you are a 90-pound competitor, you might have to get 800 to 800 calories at the end. And so that's right off the bat, is it's how much they weigh. So, and then also you're like looking at Beatrice and Issa, which these are like two of the most extreme athletes and top 20.
Listening to a podcast by them.
Top 20 in the world. Beatrice is top 20 and Issa is number 1 in the world. So I don't know if you should necessarily look at what those people are doing compared to what people are doing in your same like level. So if you're an NPC national competitor, you should be looking at, the national competitors and how lean they're showing up and who's winning. You shouldn't necessarily always be looking at the pros and the extremes they do.
And don't get me wrong, like, yes, there's times in prep where you have to grind. You gotta grind. Maybe you have to skip a refeed, or you have to, increase that cardio, or you gotta bring calories down. And there is a time in prep where you gotta grind. Yeah, it's a whole other.
So again, yes, there are gonna be some people who can handle it, and some people who can't. Like, some people can naturally be leaner than others. You always know that freak of nature of a friend who can eat an entire thing of Oreos in one night and they don't gain any weight, and they're actually really shredded, and they're an ectomorph, and those people can naturally be lean. So some people can handle it better than others. Some people can handle post-show better than others. And some people, but it's funny because it's like due to their fats probably being high to save them. I'm telling you, if you're on 700-800 grams of 700 to 800 calories, there's no way your fat is even high anyway. But that being said, I do think women do better with a higher fat and lower carb compared to men can handle a little bit lower
and
fat.
Ask your coach questions. When they make an adjustment, hopefully they are explaining why they are doing this. So if your coach puts you on this many calories, I would personally ask why. Why are we going this low? Ask. I would ask the science behind it. Why do you think personally, I need to get below this? Hopefully your coach is educating you on every single adjustment they're making.
Yeah, so it's a really good question. And to answer it, it just depends on how much they weigh.
Yeah.
And maybe what level they're at. Is this to win Miss Bikini Olympia, or is it to win a regional or a national show? Because there's very much difference in how much money you're going to take and whether you want to take some type of risk like that and crash diet. But yeah, at certain points, like she said, to win, to be the best, it is an extreme sport, and you might have to sacrifice and take some risks. But again, I would think about the longevity within your lifting career, your bodybuilding career, and do you really want to do these types of risks? Like, will it be worth it? And again, just make sure you have a good starting position, make sure you do long enough prep, and you might not need to make adjustments week after week. Sometimes the best adjustment is to make no adjustment. So if you have more time, then you could be at 1,200 calories and be crushing it and get to your goal just on 1,200 calories instead of 700-800.
That's another thing.
Maybe you could be 50. I mean, I've seen people, I have a client right now, a female, who is eating like 2,300 calories, and then her high days are like 3,500 calories. I mean, so it just depends.
Yeah, and if you have to get this low in calories, like, I would just tell your coach, hey, let's pick a later show.
Do more cardio.
I don't have to be ready for this show in a week or two. Let's pick a later show date. That is probably going to be the best thing for you. Seriously, is picking a later show date and not having to rush to this specific show. You're gonna step on stage, might as well step on stage and look the part up there and feel good about your physique, and just feel good, like, hormonally and everything like that. So
yeah, I think one more thing to reiterate. So when you do these types of things, let's say you didn't have enough stage time, like, to get ready, you didn't have a good starting position, you have to lose 30-40 pounds in 12 weeks or something extreme, and you have to necessarily go to 800 calories right away and do a ton of cardio. Like she said earlier, I want to reiterate, you're going to lose a lot of muscle. This is going to be worse for keeping your hormones and your menstrual cycle in a good place for as long as possible. So it is more irresponsible to do that type of stuff than what we suggest. So yes, we get extreme with Lauren and we do things that aren't necessarily healthy at certain points, but we do it the most responsible way you possibly can, and try to keep as much muscle as possible, try to keep her period for as long as possible. get blood work done, right? Like
You don't want to look withered away on
there's
the
times
day.
we are risking certain things, and I tell her the risks and side effects, and then and she says, okay, I'm willing to do that. Then again, she wants to be top 10 in the world in the next 2 years. So her goal might be different than your goal as far as what you want to risk. If you just want to do a regional show, try to get your pro card, yeah, there's steps to this on see if you're good. See if you are, if you're always getting center call outs, then you want to realign that goal, right?
Yeah.
So with that, like this comment, subscribe, comment some other questions, and I'll...
Like this video.
Yeah, what did I say?
Like this comment.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, ask us questions, okay? Because we love making these YouTube videos. Just DM Kyle and I. Okay, guys, see you in the next one. Bye.